Collection storage is it's right in the middle of the building. It's closed access to all but about 3 or 4 people on the entire staff. We have great security back here. It's only accessible to a few people. It's climate controlled. There's no windows. 95% of our entire collection is right here in collection storage. The rest being out in the gallery. And basically, what comes out of here depends on what kind of exhibit we're putting on. If we're doing a special show such as the Sports in Tampa Bay show that we just did, the sports-related pieces back here that we wouldn't normally have on display will come out into the gallery. Most of our donations and artifacts that we get come from just regular people out in the community. Some who have a long-time affiliation and association with the History Center, and others who've heard about us and think they have things that they'd like to contribute. If you can think of it, we probably have it. We have maps, we have photographs back here, we have clothing, we have all manner of textiles, everything related to the cigar industry. Unique in the sense that we can cover just about any aspect of local history that you can think of, and you can find it somewhere in this room. On this table here we have several pieces that were loaned for our previous exhibit on sports, belonging to Tino Martinez and to several other local athletes. Right here we have a bat that belonged to Pete Rose that he used in 1978 during his 44-game hitting streak. And Pete gave this to Charlie Miranda, who's the local politician, and we had this on display during the exhibit. This is a jersey that belonged to Tino Martinez during his time here with the Tampa Bay Rays. This is a great jersey. This is a Tampa Catholic number 19, which belonged to Tino Martinez before he went on to greater things at Jefferson High School and obviously UT and Major League Baseball. But this was his, Tampa Catholic. And this is the Silver Slugger Award, won by Tino Martinez in 1997 when he was with the New York Yankees. And Tino was kind enough to loan many of his personal artifacts that he collected during his career, and as well as contacting several other of his friends, Tony La Russa, Fred McGriff, Wade Boggs, Dwight Gooden, and they contributed many of their personal items for the exhibit as well. So what we're doing here is we're preparing to return them to Tino, so we're setting them out, doing some conditioning on them, and getting ready to wrap them up. This is a plaque that was awarded to Lamar Sparkman, who was the designer of what we know as Buccaneer Bruce. Sparkman came up with the concept. He was given this plaque by Hugh Culverhouse for his contributions to the Buccaneers. And to this day, it remains what most people remember Lamar Sparkman for, was creating the iconic orange and red Buccaneer logo. Right here, obviously this is a very timely piece. This is a Lamar Sparkman illustration of Leroy Selman, who passed away last month. Selman was obviously an iconic figure in the community, and he was a very common subject of Lamar Sparkman's during his career in the 1980s. This is the mini Stanley Cup that belongs to the Tampa Bay Lightning. We had this on display here at the History Center for the last 3 months during Sports in Tampa Bay. Whenever a team wins the Stanley Cup, they obviously don't get to keep the original, so they're awarded a miniature version. But this is the one that belongs to the Lightning, and we are keeping it here for another few days while the Forum undergoes its renovation. And after that, it'll obviously go back to the Lightning and be on display once again at the St. Pete Times Forum. We have all of the Lightning's individual awards. Whenever a player wins an individual award, such as the Rocket Richard or the Lady Bing, the player gets a version of the trophy, and so does the team. This is a World Series trophy that belongs to Lou Piniella, and this is the one he won in 1990 as the manager of the Cincinnati Reds. It was a really fun experience putting together the sports exhibit this past summer. I'm a huge sports fan. It's something that I grew up with around here, following the Bucks and then the Lightning. There's so much history from the Tampa Bay community. If you think of Lou Piniella, Tino Martinez, Al Lopez, and it was an honor to put it all together and to showcase them in a new way. And as well as Lamar Sparkman, people grew up with his cartoons in the Tampa Tribune, and it was nice to be able to put them out there for people to see it after a long time. We are on the second floor of the Tampa Bay History Center in the year-round play gallery, and I'm standing in front of our sports case, and here you can see the jersey of former Buccaneer Leroy Selmon, which is on loan to us from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. The football history here is pretty rich too. The high school rivalries go way back, Plant and Hillsborough, for example, and then you had college football starting in the 1940s with the University of Tampa, and to the present day with USF. Not to mention the Buccaneers coming around in 1976, and really the Florida Gators for a long time were considered the local team. They played numerous exhibitions here in the 60s and 70s and even the 80s. So Florida's a football state, Tampa's definitely a football city. We have a few pieces here that represent USF athletics. We have a jersey from the original year, 1997. And hopefully at some point we can get a nice bowl trophy from the bowls that we can put on display here. They've racked up a few in the last few years, and it'd be nice to see one here in our case. The trophy we have here represents the Tangerine Bowl. This trophy is the one that University of Tampa won in 1972. They defeated Kent State at the Tangerine Bowl in Orlando, and this was the last bowl trophy that the Spartans won before the program disbanded. Tampa is obviously known for its baseball, predating the Rays. We had spring training here, we had local cigar leagues, we had a local Negro League team in the 1930s and 40s. Baseball has been played here for a long, long time, and some of the pieces we have in this case represent that tradition. With the arrival of the Lightning about 20 years ago, we've had the good fortune of winning a Stanley Cup, hosting an all-star game, and being in the playoffs a couple times. So hockey right now is as entrenched in our sports identity as anything else. Highlight got started here in the 1950s, and it was before professional sports. It was the thing to do on weekend nights here in Tampa at the old Fronton. Highlight was a very popular sport. It was something that people could watch for entertainment purposes, or to wager a little bit of money. And unfortunately it's not here anymore, but it was very much a part of the local fabric for about 30 or 40 years.